Okay, so over on the left, you've got your documents. Over here, you've got your Ask Mantis, you've got your project, you've got anything you've saved, you've got a gallery if you've created any gallery, and you have an export. So let's just randomly ask it what materials are specified. This is just questions that the system has created. It doesn't mean they have anything to do with your project, but it's just giving us an example of something you could have asked. And that's kind of a vague term where if you uploaded specifications on a project and you wanted a complete list of everything that was intended to be out or called out in the specs, this would give that to you. One thing to note, the system that we've created here says thinking. And the reason it's thinking is because it's spending more time diagnosing your documents. The way general AI works, like Gemini and ChatGPT and Grok and Claude, is that they quickly give you an answer based on a lot of assumptions that they have. And so those assumptions often are incorrect. So here we have the answer, and it's giving us our concrete foundation. Reinforced concrete gives us our PSI, gives us our non-reinforced. It gives us ODOT Class C. It gives us information that is important to this specific project that we could then keep and have kind of as a master document. And there's quite a bit here for a small project. Here's all the specifications that it pulled it from down here at the bottom, and you can click on that and actually open that file right there, or it gives you the reference excerpt and then look that up. And so it's not just making this information up. Now, down here at the bottom, we have the ability to create an image from one of these if we wanted, an illustration, a chart, or a diagram. And then up here, you also have the ability to save. So once you save it, it deletes it from here and puts it up here in the saved folder, which you can then view and download at a later date. And there's that information. So let's do something else like what is the beams, or what are the beams for the main roof rafters? Not even sure I spelled that right, but we're not all perfect. Anyway, again, it's searching only those 4 documents. The more documents you give it, the more likely it's going to have strong answers, and it's going to be able to give you more information. So we're here and it's thinking. And then what we're going to do after this is we're going to have it create a illustration of that for us, and just to give us a visual representation of something, assuming it gives us the information we're looking for. Okay, composed of steel purlins. It gives us section metal roof, steel purlins, page 4, gives us quick references to these things. And then of course we can look at the reference even closer. I come down here and I say, let's see here, based on main roof structures composed of steel purlins, I can copy this. And then I can go here and say, give me an illustration. Give me illustration of the steel purlins, and then I generate. Okay, and now it's telling us that obviously it's generating an image. Now it's going to save that image in this folder over here in the gallery. And there we go. That's how they're supposed to be based on the plans. We can download, we can share this information down here with anyone. We can also come up here and hit share, and it'll open up and give us options. We can also copy it and then paste it into something that we want, or if we don't like this, we can have it regenerate another option. But it's also now saved up here, which you can easily regenerate, use, or delete. So we have that option. We have the export option, which allows us to export in text or PDF. It's now exporting it here to my desktop, and which I can then open it, and there it is. It's something that we can quickly make, or you can do it in text form. Over here, then we can clear this entire screen. There you go. Another question we could ask is, what are any water specifications? If we knew exactly, we could ask. Let's do that. So what do the plans call for regarding the main water line from city. And now it's going to think about that for a minute. Meanwhile, just to show you some other things, we have our disclaimer here because AI can be inaccurate and Mantis is not responsible for any inaccuracies. So it's your employee's job to make sure, or your job to make sure that you're getting accurate information. You can always stop this. As I said, you have our gallery, our saved, and up here is really just your settings for the project. But you want to go back then to Ask Mantis. You hit back here. So it tells me the most recent plumbing plan specified 1¼ inch domestic water line. The older site utility plan specified 1.5. One of the things about this is we added a different set of plans and a newer set of plans, and that's what it gave us. So we can now do a chart the water line sizes, and let's see what it gives us. Chart a diagram. You don't even have to say diagram of the water line. Diagram is more like a bubble chart normally, where it shows from the top down. It goes down in sequential order. It just depends. Yes, there it is. So there's something that you can look at. We can make it larger, and it's basically just giving us an outline of how this project's going to go from the water system. Again, it's automatically saved up here, and there you go. So occasionally you do have errors. Sometimes it can't produce something like a chart. Sometimes it can't produce an illustration because the information you've asked it is not valid or whatnot. But that's basically how you do it. Now, once again, I'm done with today's conversation. I can leave it here and come back, or I can just hit save. And now I have 2 of them saved, and I can go back at a later date because I may never need this information again. And then I can easily just decide what I want to do with this information. You know, do I need to look at it again? Do I need to copy and paste it out, which I can do pretty easily? Or do I want to delete the information and whatnot? So it just depends on what you're needing. But instead of cluttering this up, you can remove it. What are the key deadlines? I don't know if we asked that or not, but now let's just go ahead and see what the key deadlines are. And again, it's going to read through everything that we've given it, and it's going to give us key deadlines. If you give it information that's contradicting the old deadlines, it will usually tell you that as well. So what you have here is somebody like a personal assistant that has an all-knowing eye memory as well, and it's there to give you quick information so that you can ask questions and diagnose problems in the field without necessarily having to make a barrage of phone calls or emails or texts and try to get information. It's also able to keep this information, allow you to copy it and share it with others, and that's invaluable to you. So we'll wait here real quick as it's looking through deadlines. It's got a lot of documents to look, or a lot of documentation, a lot of pages to look through before it finds that information out particularly. So again, this is project specific, and this is allowing you to do your project specifically. Time-based requirements, 1-year warranty on all major disciplines, specify. There we go. We're having a little bit of refreshing. All materials and labor shall be warranted for 1 year. Mechanical, if during a period of 1 year. See, all of this is giving you information. Document dates, it's telling us basically some of the documents. You can summary through this very quickly and be able to get yourself some very powerful information. There again is how you share. Just click the share button and then copy if you want to copy it into a text file, which I do almost everything in text files. But now I'm done for the day, and I just want it saved, and I just want to put it away, and now it's gone for a later date. And there you go. So that is how you operate Mantis. It's very simple. We continue to want to build it bigger and bigger and give it more and more capabilities to read plans in more detail. But the more data you give it, the more site-specific it is, the more accurate the information is going to be. This is incredibly powerful for even contact information, and this can be expanded for your company in numerous ways, even on some custom levels if you're interested in that. So there you go. There is our use of Mantis Builder 101. Thank you.